Hi, I'm Professor Rizzo and I will be your mentor in conducting basic research in the context of this course on 3D printing of an artery. My lab is interested in endothelium, in the molecular mechanisms which are controlling a healthy endothelium which is necessary to prevent cardiovascular disease. How do we study endothelium in my lab? We use endothelial cells. So I will show you where we get endothelial cells, how we grow them, that means how we expand them in number, and how we store them for future use. Also how we count them. And with these cells, what we do, we put them in a plastic container, which are called plates, and we treat them with agents which are known to damage the endothelium, or with agents that we don't know if they're good or bad for the endothelium. And then we're going to measure what? We're going to measure cell death. Cell death, the number of dead cells, which we call apoptotic cells, which is a particular type of cell death, is a marker of endothelium damage. So the more dead cells you have in the endothelium, more this endothelium will be exposed to to promote cardiovascular disease. So we'll show you how to recognize dead cells and how to count them, which is counting. So that means quantitation is very important in science. We will then try to identify genes which are involved in this project. So which genes are turned off and on during the process that we are studying. As you know, genes are those stretches of DNA which control everything in our body. And how do we study the action of a gene? We study the action of a gene by measuring the product of the gene, which is mRNA, which is the requirement for the synthesis of a protein. So you will learn how to isolate protein, mRNA, and you will also learn how to quantitate the certain protein or a certain mRNA. We will do this not only in plastic vessels, but in plastic plates, but we also, which is the aim of the entire course, we will also study the endothelium in a 3D model, which will going to be built by the use of printing. This model will be closer to what happens in the body because the cells will be not on their own but will be in touch with other cells present in the arteries, like vascular smooth cells. So we'll be closer to what happens in the body, and we will able to mimic more physiological condition without the need of animal model, which is very important. At the end of this the experiment, you will have a lot of data to analyze. We will help you to analyze the data to make sure that the data that you obtain makes sense through some statistical analysis. And also we will analyze the data in the context of the literature to compare what you got with what other people did before you. This is an important part of the study. So we will also teach you how to do something that many people consider a very boring activity, but very important, is to write a notebook, the lab notebook. Lab notebook is some sort of diary in which you're going to write anything related to the experiment, which is going to be very helpful in the future when you will have to repeat your experiment. Because remember, experiments in science have to be repeated at least 3 times, and they have to be reproduced. Otherwise, the meaning of your results is basically zero. You will also learn how to write a protocol. What is a protocol? A protocol is a very accurate and detailed description of the procedure that you have used to count cells, to seed cells, to treat cells, so that you can communicate what you've done to other people in all over the world. So I expect you at the end of this time in my lab, you will have learned technical skills that will be useful not only for cardiovascular research, but any other lab involved in doing research. And you will also find yourself more able to manage your time, because you will be also involved in planning your activity. You will find yourself also more able to communicate, because communication is a very important skill to have in science. Be able to communicate with your coworker, with your mentor, and very importantly, you will have strengthens for sure your ability to critically analyze data and reality around you. I'm looking forward to see you in my lab.